Race number 11 of 14 on the season here in the Rolling Thunder Gaming BareBones Racing Challenge tonight. We are at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Good evening, friends. Welcome to the race. My name is Carlos Zimmerman. Alongside me from her home in South Carolina, Jessica Shelton. How are you doing this evening, Jess?
It's too hot outside to think about anything else besides racing.
I'm right there with you. Being in Texas, it's really hot here too. We've been getting some rain though, so that's been really good. But it's gonna be clear skies tonight at one of the oldest tracks in NASCAR history, North Wilkesboro Speedway. Again, as I said, race 11 of 14 on the season, as these guys are going to be getting ready to grid it up and get ready for 140 laps around North Wilkesboro tonight. This season's winding down for these guys, so this is getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, and we've got chase race number 1 starting tonight, and the top 6 playoff contenders in this Grant Wesley, Jeff Supta, Sean Prime, Robert Balcom, Josh Metalik, and Dante Ritchie, or Ricci. I can't even speak right now. They're all starting in the back based on the rules and regulations of the how this league works. All 6 have to start in the back, and they have to actually earn and work their way up to the front. So it's going to be challenging, especially with 3x wear. So tires are going to come into play. They can stretch it, hopefully, the distance for a fuel run, but who knows? I mean, it's North Wilkesboro. It's a short track. What do you expect?
As the engines have fired, we're going to get ready to go green flag racing once again for 140 laps. Dave Melson has took the pole for this one. To his outside, Jim Gloud. Rolling off in third will be Sean Kerrigan. Kerrigan. Ronald Lucier, he's rolling off fourth. Fifth, Jack Ducialt. And rolling off sixth will be Bob Lachance. Seventh, Andre Rayome. Eighth will be the 88 of the 088 of Tim Knopfsker. Rolling off from ninth will be Andre Charest. 10th, Richard Martin. 11th, Bobby Farrell. 12th, trying to get to him here, Glenn Harris. 13th, Larry Ingram. 14th, Benoit Plord. Dante Ricci. 15th, Grant Wesley. 16th. 17th, Robert Balcom. 18th will be Sean Prime. Pace truck is in. We're going to get ready to go racing for 140 laps once again. We're glad you're with us here on the Flatout Racing Network. Green flag in the air. Dave Melson gets us underway, and it's a side-by-side run between him and Jim Glad as they head towards the backstretch.
Yeah, they're trying to see who can get the early advantage, try to move up. And Grant Wesley back here, 3 wide position. He has to back off and move back a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see these playoff contenders back here, if they're going to try to take it easy or if they're going to try to push the issue to get up there quickly, especially it's a long way, but track position on a short track's everything. I do want to mention Jeff Supta and Josh Metalik. They're not here tonight, so they're going to take a huge hit not making the race 1 in the beginning here.
Dave Melson and others have been able to settle it out single file through all of our top 10. First battle, you got to go way back here to Sean Prime, who's made a good jump here after starting last as he is passing the 43 truck of Richard Martin. But Richard Martin got a really good run off of turn number 2. He'll try to maintain here, but Sean Prime, with that preferred inside line, he will take the spot away for, I believe, the 13th position on racetrack.
The good news is that they're pretty much single file, and there's a couple of battles back here, but them being single file, they're holding their P's and Q's really steadily. But you can guarantee yourself after a few laps later on in this run, they're going to start moving. They're going to be more aggressive. They're going to try to get every little thing they can out of their trucks, Carlos.
Larry Ingram starting to cascade his way through the field as some playoff guys are going by him. Robert Balcom went by him, Dante Ricci, and now Sean Prime has been able to get around him for spots. So moved the Larry Ingram machine all the way back to 13th, something up maybe on the 28 Ford F-150 with Folgers on the hood. So we'll see and we'll document that as we go along. But meanwhile, at the front, everyone still fairly single file. Jim Gloud, though, is not allowing the 13 of Dave Melson to get away, which is, for being a short track, that's, if you let a guy get away, you could easily bring him back up when lap traffic starts happening. But Jim Gloud not looking to do that right now.
No, he wants to stay right there. He wants to make sure that if Melson makes one small mistake, he can pounce and get that position to put himself in a better chance when pit stops do begin when we get to that crucial moment. So with with this being the way it is, it's a short track. I mean, I'm surprised at how they're not really pushing it at the moment. We've been plenty of weeks before Carlos, and we've seen a lot of aggressiveness early. These guys here, they know what they're doing. They seem to be really trying to be careful, trying to make it to that first pit stop. It looks like, and talking about Nelson being on the pole up here, trying to dominate this race. He dominated practice and happy hour, and he got the pole for qualifying. So he's trying to make a clean sweep tonight.
Dave Melson and Jim Glad, they've actually been able to form a little bit of breakaway. As Kerrigan, you have him back here in third, trying to hold off Ronald Lucier in the 62 truck. And then just on the brink of the top 5 is Jack Ducialt here in his 36 Skittles Toyota. Right behind him, Bob LaChance in the Kanak Toyota. And then you got Tim Knopfsker in his 088 truck. May trying to make a challenge there for 6, but couldn't quite get to him here. Still trying to go back here. Andre Rayom got a little bit out of the groove there as we're 10 laps in, a 14th of the way through. Here tonight in North Wilkesboro, still have had good green flag action, just continuing to look through here. Larry Ingram, he has really continued to fall to the back, almost to dead last right now of the 18 trucks that took the green flag.
Go ahead. Grant Wesley started at the back here based on the rules of DNQ, and now he's in 13th, slowly starting to reel in Dante. And I mean, he's caught this back of the field after a few laps. He's just being really patient. He comes in the point leader, 10 points over Jeff Supta and Sean Prime. And right now, just to clarify the point situation at this moment, Wesley had won 3 races in the actual regular season, which he also got the 5 bonus points for each race, and the overall season being up there as well. And because he got that, he got the extra 20 over everyone else. So, and we have Wesley, Supta, and Prime 10 points back, 15 back to Robert Balcom. Josh Medalick and Dante are both 20 back, and so he's looking to try slowly to start working his way up front. I mean, we're seeing it. He's slowly reeling everyone in, trying to increase that point lead. But these other guys here, Robert Balcom, Sean Prime, they don't want him to get that position. They're actually trying to make sure they stay ahead of him.
On board, looking back from Dante Enrique's machine at the 88 Menards Chevy Silverado of Grant Wesley. These guys just on the outside of the top 10, trying to make moves whenever they can. Ricky took a little bit of a higher line there, so that might allow Wesley to close back in. Just ahead of them, Andre Charest has been able to hold 10th. Sean Prime, he has definitely been the man on the move, has moved up 9 spots there in the RTG 15. He is up in the 9th position, trying to catch up to this battle that could be brewing here between Tim Knopfsker and Jack Ducialt in the 36. Wow, they got kind of close there when I panned away from him. Man, oh man, Ducialt really put the bumper to the 088 of Knopfsker to get around him, and Knopfsker's going to try and do it backhand. Couldn't quite do it.
Back here we got Bobby Farrell, Benoit Ford, and Glenn Harris and Larry Ingram. They've pretty much lost touch with the field, so I don't know right now if this is just strategy or if they're having ill handling trucks or what's going on with them, but they're way back here, so they're hoping for an early caution.
Caution is something we haven't really seen to open up this race. Almost the 7th of the way through. Dave Melson out in front here of Jim Glad. You're watching the BareBones, the RTG. Oh my goodness, this is really looking bad on my part. The RTG BareBones Racing Challenger here tonight from North Wilkesboro, approaching lap 20. Here's a message here from our sponsors here at Flatout Racing Network. back here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Lap 22 on the board, about to take lap 23. Dave Melson and Jim Glaude, they have started to run into the back end of this field. They just passed the 8 truck of Glenn Harris. And then now they're about to be getting around Larry Ingram here as they clear by him there. Dave Melson, he has led all the laps here tonight, Jess.
Yeah, he's really showing that he wants this. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, he's not in the top 6, but he's trying to show that he deserves, like, you know, the fact that he should be in that top 6 as well. Looking at the fastest laps after 24 going 25 laps, Robert Balcom and Jim Glaude have the top 2 fastest laps, currently hitting a 20.4 and 19. Jim had a 20.468. So those two, and Melson, he's got the 3rd fastest lap currently with a 20.477. So all 3 of those are in the .4s. Everyone else is .5 and on back. We should be coming up on pit stops in the next 24 laps, I would imagine, Carlos. It's going to be a real cluster in a moment with all these lap trucks that they're going to have to come in and go out and weave around while they're pitting under green, if we get the green flag anyway. Pit stop, that is.
Yeah, but I know this is a short track to compare to like where NASCAR was really at Texas just this yesterday. So these guys better not try to channel in their inner Quinn Houff if they want to get into pits safely here and be able to get good service here. But yeah, the lap traffic is definitely going to be an issue for these leaders. You're looking at the 18 of Robert Bauckham here as he's trying to follow in behind Kerrigan there in the 15 Skoll truck. And then here he is again, Sean Prime. He is up to the 6th position now after starting 18th, a 12-spot gain. Robert Bauckham about the same because he started further back there as well as, Kerrigan got a little loose there through that corner. And that's going to allow the 18 and the 15, the 015, excuse me, to go right by him, as I just realized they're both number 15.
Benoit Plore to be the next truck apparently on Dave Nelson's hit list to lap, and he's already a straightaway ahead, so a little bit of clear sailing, a little bit of breathing room right now for Dave to relax and try to get into a rhythm and not have to worry too much about lap traffic at this moment. And just want to bring the attention that this series has been, they run three seasons a year in this series, and this is their 50th season currently right now. They've been here for a while, and that's pretty impressive, Carlos.
No, it is absolutely very impressive. For those who don't know, Rolling Thunder Gaming, one of the early pioneers in NR 2003 online racing, been around since the year 2005. That is 15 years now that we're in the year 2020, and that they're still going. It just shows a lot of prowess that this group has. A lot of good guys in here that want to keep this going, keep NR 2003 online racing going. So big kudos to everybody at RTG for what they do. Meanwhile, further back, Ronald Lucier just got around Jim Glaude. Jim Glaude really all over the racetrack right now. Looks like he got loose there through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and being a little bit loose, that's going to kind of hurt his chances of trying to run down that 13 truck of Dave Melson here. I mean, especially when we were talking about it earlier with tire wear, you don't want to get a little bit too squirrely, otherwise your tires will go right out from underneath you.
And with that happening, Lucier has actually been able to start to reel in the 13 of Dave Melson as he got loose there through that corner there, and that's going to put the 62 right at the back bumper for the first time in a few laps. Dave Melson may have a challenger for the lead because it's looking like that 62. Whoa!
So close there.
Melson slams the door on the 62 there. The 62 that time by ran a 21.88. Probably would have been faster if he didn't get slowed up. Melson nearly a full 10th slower than the 62. Ronald Lucier right now, a man on a mission right now, and we're not even close to the halfway point.
The 08 of Harris coming into pit road currently. I'm not sure if there's something wrong or if he's just worn out his tires. But I can tell you, I'm not sure if Melson was driving really, really hard because he's starting to fall off the pace, and Lucier, like we were saying, he's caught him. He wants this lead, but the question is how hard is he going to try to battle for this, because he doesn't want to end up losing his grip on his tires either.
That's the thing. I was calling a race last night over on Speed51.com, the Elite Days Gone By Truck Series. We were at, oh my goodness.
36 truck coming in the pit now. Pit stops are starting.
We were at Atlanta last night, and the tire wear there is incredible. With how the track is heating up, and yeah, like you said, the guys are coming into the pit here. But anyway, as the battle is going to start raging for the lead here, this track, it can get hot too, as the 62 of Ronald Lucier gets around Dave Melson. He didn't lead the lap. If he comes around here, he'll be able to notch a bonus point for himself. And Melson doesn't look like he'll give any sort of a challenge, and the 62 of Ronald Lucier will get a bonus point, and he is your new leader.
And I want to bring a little tidbit here that was brought up to us earlier. Not only are they battling for a playoff for the championship overall, they're actually battling a race within the race for the other people who are not in the playoffs, and that's called the Challenger Series currently. And Andre Rayum is currently leading that with 9 points over Andre Harris, I believe his last name is. If it's not, I do apologize for botching the last name. Glenn Harris is third right now, 14 back, and the 36 and the I think it's the 97 of Benoit Poirier. Those two are 22 back currently in the top 5 positions when they're with that battle going on as well. So it's a battle within the overall battle, you could say, Carlos. So they're trying to get what they need through a little bit of pride and like a little boost for them. They're 3 wide off this corner, and I don't know how Jim was able to get by that and make that stick. I thought he was going to push up right there.
Yeah, this is on the cusp of the top 10 here. Andre Terres back here. The lap machine of Jack Duciald after he pitted Richard Martin here in 10th. Those guys getting a little crazy there. Jim Glaude, he has made his pit stop. I'm trying to cycle through here. Tim Nofsker, he is making his pit stop now just ahead of him. No, that's the pace truck. The 63 of Andre Rayom, he is just now coming out of the pits. Jim Glaude just trying to move his way past everybody.
Prime's about to go by the 13 of Dave Nelson. At least he's looking. He's trying to get by him.
Yeah, the 15 of Sean Prime right now in 4th, trying to get around. The 13, as you said, right now he's still not able to do it. Robert Balcom has been able to settle into 2nd. There you go. There's the battle for 3rd, as Sean Prime will go around the 13 with ease. Grant Wesley thought about following suit, and he'll have to wait for another lap to be able to do that. 42 laps on the board now, 43, as we are about 26 laps away from halfway, but closing in on that pit window for the leaders.
Yep, some of the leaders are pitting, and some of them are going to try to stretch it to that 50 lap if they can, which is really, really tough to do, especially when your tires are wearing as much as they are. I mean, I don't know. They must be running on like yellow or maybe even orange on their wear right now. That it's really, really critical that they don't make a mistake at this point, Cross. I mean, one little bobble like we saw earlier, and you've lost all that track position completely. And then if you come in too fast, blocking them up, that you're going to have to take more time. And you might have to take all 4 tires or 2 tires depending on what your strategy wants to be. You might have to rethink your strategy coming in. Dave Melson is on pit road now.
Dante Ricci, he was really locking up the brakes trying to get into the pits. He just now left his pit road run, so he pits at around lap 44. Trying to look through here for some other guys. Here comes Bob LaChance. He will now bring it into the pits as he locks it up, trying to get Woad down for the pit lane. He does. The 45-mile-an-hour pit lane, if you are not careful, it will come back and bite you, and you do not want to really get caught speeding on pit road in any sort of way.
Yeah,
a black flag could end up coming to bite you, as it looks like Dave Melson, he was on the apron there. I don't think he had pit.
Yeah, he did hit from what I could tell, but you have to be on the apron to the middle backstretch.
Trying to cycle through here and find our leader. That is the 62 of Ronald Lucier. He has not yet brought it down to pit, as you see Jim Glaude with the fresher tires going right by him, Kerrigan coming up to him. So Lucier just trying to stretch it out as far as he can. And this is going to get really interesting here as Kerrigan gets into the back of the 62. Oh my goodness, as the 62, he is going to bring it into the pits really fast coming in here. Oh my goodness, I think he may have been speeding. When he hit that commitment line, it was about 55 miles an hour he was going at.
Okay, I do want to point out, I got a little bit of word from race control here that apparently the 15, unfortunately, of Sean Prime, who was doing really well, making his way up, I believe I heard him say that he got caught by the speeding police as well. So people coming in, serving their black flag, and like I was saying a little bit earlier, Grant Wesley, I believe he went about 115 to 120 on that backstretch before turn 3, and you got to go from there all the way down to 45, and that pit line is right there where you have to be on a certain point at 45 miles an hour. So it's really difficult. I mean, a lot of people think getting on from like 180, 190 Carlos down to 55 at a plate track is hard. Well, there's plenty of room for us coming off of turn 4 to back up. But you talk about a short track, mistakes are a lot easier to make on a short track coming in pit road than they are on a super speedway.
Yeah, when you look at the comparisons between them, the margin of error at a super speedway, you have a little bit more room. You could get burned on track position if you make a mistake, but it is easy to recover from. Short tracks, you make a mistake, that's the difference between your day coming to an end and you being able to have a fantastic race here. As I'm watching Ronald Lucier here, he's in 5th, trying to get around some lap traffic here. I'm going to try and cycle around here and see if I can find our new leader.
Jim Glaude, 72 in turn 3.
That would be correct. Jim Glaude up in the 1st position after being 2nd for the opening half of this race, and then fell back over to about as far as 3rd before he came down in pit as he gets passed by the lap car.
I do want to point out that Grant Wesley did lead a lap, and that would give him an extra bonus point going to his championship run as well.
Yep, that like we have said, every point counts, and with only 3 races left in this season, that is something we have got to keep an eye on.
Oh, Larry Ingram just ran right up on Glenn Harris in the 8. He had to back off, and he almost lost it. So it was a great save and a great handle by Larry Ingram to save that truck. I'm sorry to cut you off, Carlos.
No, you're okay. Larry Ingram, 3 laps down right now in the 18th position. Last car on the racetrack as he gets passed by Grant Wesley there. Wesley, you see him here running 6th there in that Menards number 88, resembling a lot the truck that Matt Crafton used to drive for so many years, as he'll now pass the 8 Coca-Cola Chevy.
And back to what you were saying about Benoit Blord. About Grant Wesley. I mean, we're not talking about Grant Wesley. I'm sorry, I'm lost right here in my mind. Watching Benoit Blord trying to hold position up here. Talking about pitting and all, if you get that black flag and you have to come back down and serve your penalty, just think about this. For example, at a plate track or intermediate, you might go 1 lap down or stay only lap, and you might be really far back with the leaders. You get penalized here at a short track, you're going down maybe 2 or even 3 laps, depending on the speed versus what the drivers are running compared to pit road speed. So you really don't want to make that mistake of getting black flag and getting called out like that.
No, you really don't, because at a plate track you can you'll probably fall a lap down while running it under green flag conditions out on the racetrack. Here at short tracks, you can lose laps in the pits, which is something you don't want to do because you're not even trying to do anything to make up those laps. But that's the thing about short tracks too. If you got fresh tires, you'll be faster than the potential leader. So that could also benefit you as you're looking at the 62 of Ronald Lucier, who was leading prior to his pit stop.
And I do want to apologize for the comment I made about Benoit Blord. It was not Benoit Blord that was in a little bit of a cluster nest. It was Richard Martin. They're both running that white and green John Deere look on both of their trucks, so it kind of threw me off for a second. Richard Martin, the 43, running back here in 12th, running right behind Dave Nelson, who's in 4th right now, trying to reel back in the lead group.
I don't blame you for that. That's what it was for me as a young NASCAR fan watching the Red Bull Racing team. The 83 and the 84 for so many years that they were in existence. So that was always confusing. So I don't blame you for the 43 and the 87. You see Richard Martin here in 12th. Benoit Blord back here. He's in 14th. So
Dante in the 84. And Sean Prime unlaps himself on old school style on the track from being busted from speeding earlier.
And we have a change for the lead. Robert Bauckham has just taken the lead away in his AutoZone Toyota from Jim Glaude, his Mellow Yellow machine. So move the 18 to the front for the first time.
And the 84 back there is looking to try to pounce on the 72. But now you're saying that Robert is the new leader. He's going to get himself a nice needed bonus point for the championship as well. Move him up a little bit in the points as well, trying to run down Grant to counter what Grant had, but it doesn't. With them being tied with 1 point for leading the lap, they got to make sure they finish ahead of that 88 now.
18 now, as I said, the new leader now starting to run up on more lap traffic. Actually, the 51, I think, has just gotten around those guys, so he's obviously got fresher tires. Now, these guys pitted around in from the range of about lap 35 to about lap 42.
46, actually. I think
or
around that
46,
area.
thank you. So that's about a 10 to 11 lap window. So we can expect them again, probably here in the next few laps, believe it or not, because if that's the trend. At about the halfway point, all the way to up about lap 80, that's when we would see these guys come on down once again to get fresh tires and fuel.
And just to give a little put out here, there's only 9 cars currently on the lead lap on this ticker. You have Robert and Dante. Dante is 1 and almost 2 seconds back. Jim Glaude running about 2.5. Melson's getting around Jim Glaude now for that position. Well, I think pit stops may starting to be happening right now because I see a truck on pit road.
That would be, trying to find him here, that might be the 8 of Glenn Harris. Trying to get to him here. Jim Glaude, he is also making his service now, so another round of green flag pit stops happening here. Guy that was leading a little bit ago, but now started, falling back, so he figured I had to come down short pit ahead of everybody else to get some more fresh Goodyears and fuel.
Yeah, it might give him an advantage, but that tire was going to fall off and hinder him in the long run because he
has to come back down. I think he got caught speeding.
Oh, wow. That's going to even hinder him even worse here because now I'm looking at Glenn Harris now 4 laps down. But the good thing that you have to look at with this league is how these drivers are very respectful, huge manners on the track, giving each other room, and they're just being very, very patient. I mean, it's really rare that we see a race go 70 laps like we are, or roughly where we are right now, and no cautions, nobody's out of this race, no one's retired. There's a few drivers that are a lap down, but they're all still out there trying to make it go as far as they can, and that's amazing to see because you don't get that in other leagues like we've seen around, Carlos.
No, I said this also last night, so this is really a back-to-back broadcast for me where we didn't really see cautions. Last night in the Elite Days Gone By Truck Series over on Speed 51, we had 1 caution, and that was the midway caution for everyone to come down and get tires and fuel. And we didn't see a caution from there. So to not see it here at North Wilkesboro, that's a bit shocking to me because, you know, this track, you can get you really slippery and sliding when you don't have fresh tires and fuel. So the fact that we have gone halfway through this race and there has not been a single yellow is very impressive, and it shows the prowess of these drivers.
And the 36 truck has completed service, and he's going to be out and away right now as pit stops are starting to cycle through. And you know what that means. We're going to see a lot of these drivers mixing with the lead group, trying to get back on the lead lap, gain position. As Jim Glaude ran right up on Richard Martin there, while Grant Wesley was able to make the pass and start trying to pull away. So, I mean, they're really starting to get a little bit racy now, trying to push it a little bit from what I can see with some of these packs where they're merging with the lap traffic back here.
Yeah, you see Jim Glaude here. He's in 14th right now. Just ahead of him is a car that's on the lap. Bobby Farrell, we haven't talked about him tonight, back in 15th. He just got a chunk of the wall there through 3 and 4s. He gets it going then, as he'll start getting passed by a bunch of other cars here. The unsponsored 45. Oh, man, he's really up in that groove. I don't think he's actually brought it down to pit yet, so that could be a reason why, as he now battles the 75.
Yeah, Larry Ingram's a couple of trucks back here running that high groove as well, and Bobby Farrell gets the wall a little bit again. They're really struggling with how they got that truck going. And I think we got someone blown up, or...
Caution is out.
Dante in the 84.
84 of Dante Ricci. Trying to find him here.
He's already retired.
Oh, no.
We're going to have to look at that on a replay when we get under caution here, Carlos.
Big
but
time
right now,
for the
I want to point out
Ricci, and that's why we are going to be working our first caution of the night here on lap 76. As the lead lap cars will head down pits, we'll go ahead and take a look back and see what happened to Dante. as we're looking through here. 84, as we said, has already put his car behind the wall and has called it a night. And through here, yeah, his car blew up here. Not really much to see. As you you watch him here, coming off of into the front straightaway here, and the car just blows up and spins it out over here down in the infield, and that is why the caution came out. So an unfortunate break for the 84 of Dante. Definitely not what he wanted to have his night go.
I've got a little bit of a point here being asked about Dante, who had a really decent run. He wants to pop up here and give us his perspective about how this race has gone so far. So I'm going to move him up here.
Alrighty, we'll get to talk to the 84 Dante Ricci, who has just come out of this race. Dante just showed the folks the replay there. Just an unfortunate break. The car just let loose.
Well, I can't believe it. The oil pressure went down to 0 in the middle of turn 1. What can you do? We had a really good car, and we had things perfect. I was taking it easy there for that run. I was planning to pit sometime with about 45 laps to go and then one more pit stop to the finish. But it just sucks to have an engine failure. That, just for my sake, for all the series we've had, I've had one engine failure now on Monday, one engine failure on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and one on Thursday night this season 50. It's been very unfortunate. They've happened at just the worst time as soon as things start to go my way. And I don't know. We had a great car and things happen. So we'll pick it up and come next week.
This is going to hinder you a little bit in the championship chase, it looks like, because you came in with the 6 and you have Josh Metallic and Jeff Supta not being able to race tonight for what their plans are, and you look like you were going to gain some ground, Dante. You were up there running in the top 5 for a little bit.
Yeah, I was really going. I wasn't necessarily catching Robert, but one more pit stop was still to come. I would have had a chance. So it's a shame. We had such a great green flag start to the race, and I hope that these drivers could do the same to finish it. But I wish I could be out there with them. That's for sure. Tough luck tonight. Thanks to David Cannon and Terry Bauman and Sean Prime and all the league administrators at RTG for putting it on tonight.
Alrighty, that you were hearing the 84 Dante Ricci, first car out of the race here tonight. He'll finish up 18th tonight. We'll wish him the best of luck the rest of the way. These guys are going to be getting some wave rounds here, so if you do see the pace truck go down, we may not necessarily be going back green. The 18 is the control truck there. To his outside is going to be the pole sitter, Dave Melson. Third will be Ronald Lucier. Fourth will be Grant Wesley. Fifth, Sean Prime. Rest of the top 10 is Kerrigan, Andre Charest, Tim oh my goodness, I botched his name. Novsker, Jack Ducialt, and then Benoit Plord and Bobby Farrell. So we'll see if these guys will get the green light to go green. And yes, they will. Green flag back in the air. 60 laps to go exactly, and the 18 of Robert Bauckham shaves off the 13 of Dave Melson, as Melson's going to try the crossover, but Bauckham continuing to do some blocking down the back straightaway. That's something you don't really see at North Wilkesboro.
No, not very much, especially this early on, but they all want to keep that position. They're really fighting for it on this restart, and you got, like we're saying, they didn't have that wave around thing that we were informed about earlier on, which is very fortunate that we were able to go back to green without any issues. But the whole list of people who are unfortunately trapped a lap down, mixing in with the elite lap cars, they're trying to battle for their own positions and their own points as well. And it's just going to be kind of hectic from here on out, it looks like, especially when we got one more round of pit stops most likely to happen, Carlos.
Yeah, everyone should be on the same pace right now with that caution coming out. So that caution came out around lap 77. So roughly we'll see people come down at about from lap 112 to about 121. And that should get everyone clean and green to the finish.
And Carlos, I want you to take, if you can, for a second, look at the standings here. Robert Bauckham, Sean Prime, Grant Wesley, all three of those in the top 5, and you got Dave Melson running second. But what happened to Jim Gloud? He's all the way back in 13th 2 laps down. So you got to feel for him because he was up there actually doing pretty well this race.
Well, that caution didn't really benefit the 72 Mellow Yellow Ford F-150 of Jim Glaude. So he's trying to work his way through some lead lap traffic right now to try and get his laps back the old-fashioned way. He's got a long way to get to our leader as Robert Baucom's just now on the back straightaway, and then you got to go back here. Glaude's just now getting on the back straightaway. So he's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to have that happen, or, you know, he could have the benefit of more cautions to be able to get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. 10 trucks, on the lead lap. So your top 10, Robert Baucom first, Dave Melson second, Ronald Lucier third, Sean Prime fourth, Grant Wesley rounds out the top 5.
8.
And then Kerrigan sixth, up to, I'm trying to find our 7th place runner, Richard Martin, way back here in 7th.
And 8th, which is the last car on the lead lap, is the 51 of Bob LaChance currently.
Okay, so never mind. 8 trucks on the lead lap, my mistake. So there you go. That's your running order for the lead lap cars. Melson trying to run down Robert Baucom right now. Lap 88 on the board.
I'm
When
back
we come around a couple more times, it'll be about 50 laps to go here tonight at North Wilkesboro here in the BareBones Racing Challenge presented by Rolling Thunder Gaming. We'll be back here as we'll have a message here from Rapid Fire Pizza, our sponsor for one of our series here at FRN, the Rapid Fire Pizza National Series. Be right back to North Wilkesboro after this break. Folks, I do want to apologize. Just a really bad technical issue on our end. The whole back half of that race was not audibly being brought to you guys due to just a technical issue that was on my part. So I apologize for that. I do want to say you did get to enjoy some great action there, right down towards the stretch of this one. Robert Bauckham, he is your race winner, as you saw on your screen there. Again, I apologize for the technical error, and yeah, that's just the way it happens sometimes, folks. Technical errors happen, and but we're gonna get to hear from our top three here. Robert Bauckham, your race winner. Sean Prime second. Dave Melson third. Those guys, they were running hard all night long, so that was always good to see there out of those guys. But we'll go ahead and let's talk to our third place finisher in Dave Melson. Dave Melson, this is Carlos Zimmerman and Jessica Shelton in the FRN booth. You have us?
Yep, go ahead.
And Dave, you had a really good run throughout this race. You were leading early on, had the pole, and then it just kind of fell off after a while. On that last run, you were trying really hard to just try and keep up with Bauckham, but it didn't end up working out for you. But a third place run for you tonight, regardless.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. I just used up my tires too quick on that first run and even in that last run. But I did everything I could. It's just Sean's nose couldn't get under there, and I tried to hold him back as long as I could.
Yeah, and that pretty much bunched that field back up, Dave. And I mean, I was watching most of that run here, and that was just incredible with you being able to go from leading the race, and you dominated practice, got the pole, dominated happy hour, up near the front. I mean, I thought you were going to steal one from these playoff championship contenders here.
Yeah, it's just a matter of not saving enough tire, going too quick too soon. I was trying to save the tires, but I just overdid it, I think.
Times 3 wear is not really that good of a thing, is it, Dave? Especially when we have a track like this.
Yeah, no, this definitely a tough track on tires. They wear out pretty quick, but I tried to pace myself, but like I say, I just didn't do it good enough. They did it better than me.
Well, I mean, still, it was a pretty decent run for you, don't you think? I mean, I think that was a really good run that you had this whole race. Technically, even where you finished up being in third, I think it was really good for you.
Oh, I don't usually have this much luck where I can finish up this close to the front, so I'm definitely happy with it, no doubt.
Going forward for you, this ought to be an interesting run for the rest of your season. You definitely have the car week in and week out to be able to do the performance. What's your mindset for these final three races here in BareBones?
Just get what I can get out of it. That's all there is to it. and try to do it clean and not have any problems.
Alrighty, before we let you go this evening, Mr. Melson, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just thank you guys for doing the broadcast, because it's great for people to see and get this this sim racing out there for everybody to see and enjoy. And RTG, got to thank them guys, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here either. So
I want to quickly bring up something real quick to you, Dave. Looking at the points, you look like you might have gained a bit, because you came in 13th in the standings, and it looks like you're going to gain a little bit after this as well.
yeah, that'll give me a few points, but I don't think I can get any better than what they have 10 in the chase. So I don't think I can get
I think right now I think they've got 6 up here with what I'm seeing on the standing sheet here.
Yeah, well, whatever it starts, I don't think I can do better than 10th place. 11th is probably the tops I can get if I can manage it.
Hey, you never know, right, Dave? I mean, look at what happened tonight. You never know. You got 3 to go.
Yeah, just need tracks that suit me.
And you also hopefully need to get Steve back too.
Yeah, he's just busy working. He'll be back.
Alrighty, that's your third place finisher, Dave Melson. A good run for you tonight. Best of luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll bring in our second place finisher here tonight. Just lost his name, Sean Prime. Sean Prime, this is Carlos Zimmerman and Jessica Shelton in the FRN booth. You got us?
Dude, did you guys have fun?
Just to put into perspective, the last 50 laps of that race had no commentary, as I made a big oops. But we still had the racing action up there, so everyone saw what happened in that race. So they just didn't have any commentary. So yeah, that's always fun. But
I think we owe you 50 laps of commentary for free.
Yeah, we owe you 50 laps of commentary.
I'll give it to you in 5 sentences. The nutcase in the 015 sped on pit road like an idiot, and then proceeded to drive like a man possessed and unlap himself, and then ran out of laps and wrestled the 13 with a epic battle for what turned out to be second. I wanted about 5 more laps to run Robert down. I desperately wanted to.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, really, Dave really just battled and kept slamming. To put it into perspective, slamming the door on you. I clearly looked at the lap times, despite the crowd not knowing that I was talking about the lap times. You had the faster truck. I mean, were you getting frustrated with the 13, or are you just enjoying good racing?
I love Dave. And Dave's a heck of a racer. It was fun. My hands are still shaking. I mean, it's just trying to not turn them. I mean, I knew I had the speed to get by him, but that doesn't mean you can get by him. And it was one of the hardest passes and the most challenging and fun passes I've had in quite a while. So that was enjoyable. I just wanted a few more laps after getting by Dave to see what I could run down to Robert with.
I'm still in shock about that too, because, well, like I mentioned, unfortunately no one heard me say it, but that whole battle between you and Dave brought that whole field back up there. I mean, were you concerned that Ronald Luzier was going to get you at that moment, or how were you thinking? Did you think you were going to be passed or anything, Sean?
Well, thank you for bringing up Ronald. He ran a heck of a race, and he actually let me by into third place. He did not have to do that. It was a class act by him there. And yes, I do believe he probably would have tried to get by me, and I was waiting for that 88 to show up in my rearview mirror again, because I knew he was lurking back there someplace, even with a little damage.
Speaking of the 88 real quick, I mean, yeah, Grant had that unfortunate issue earlier, and then, toward, I think, 2 to go or on the white flag lap, that wreck that happened on the backstretch unfortunately got into him. We saw that the first wreck, you were involved a little bit of that too. How bad were you after the incident?
Well, everyone knows the damage key is F9, and I was very holding my breath when I pressed it, because it was like running the threshold. Like, I hit him, I was hard on the brake I saw it coming a mile away, so I was standing on the binders, and we touched, but we didn't touch that hard. But I don't know if it didn't wrinkle my hood up. That was my first good sign. I just hovered over the F9 and gently pressed it and said no damage. So it was good enough, at least on this track. So I took it. I was fortunate.
And now that Grant had that little bit of an issue, and he finishes up back in 8th here, Robert and yourself, you guys gained pretty decent points here moving forward in this championship out you guys got going on.
Yeah, we'll do the math. I'm honestly, I've been around a long time. People know me. It's not about the numbers. I love hard, good racing with people like this. It's what keeps me coming back, and when I can race like the guys we race with here tonight, it's just bliss. It really is. And guys will tell you, when you can just sit there and run under green and have good competitive racing like this, it's just great.
I want to bring up one more quick thing that I didn't get to ask you beforehand. Looking at the Challenger Series here, Andre Cheris gained quite a bit on Andre Rayum, because he was 9 points behind Rayum coming into this, and this was like the race within the race itself with the non-playoff championship contenders here. What was the points for do you get points for being ahead of someone, just for just the people you're battling with, or the points issue, or given based on your position of if you finish second you get 180 or something, or 42 or something like that? How is that awarded for the Challenger Series?
They score their points exactly the same as they do within the overall series that they're a part of. In other words, if the Challenger winner finished 6th overall, he gets those 6th place points. He doesn't get readjusted or get bonus points.
Okay, so he doesn't get first place points technically for that bracket.
That is correct. But if the second place Challenger driver, say he finished 9th, he gets 9th place points. So there is a disparity there. So the drivers will score the points based on where they finish within the overall race.
So
it's just
Terrace
shifted
gained
up.
a couple of points over here on Andre Rayam going in with the Challenger Series, which seems to be like a little fun battle within the race itself. But yeah, Sean, got a
And
little bit more to go. You got 3 races, Infineon coming up. How do you feel about your chances of moving now?
well, first, I'm just happy if I can make the races. That's always the biggest challenge, and I think it's going to be great. I really do. Grant and Robert are really hard to beat. Jeff, I don't know what happened to him this week. I believe he had his grandchildren. That's a big priority. I know that feeling. So it's going to be great. It's going to be epic racing. We've got a road course. We've got big tracks. It's going to be fun, and at the end of the day, somebody's going to come out on the end, and you're going to talk to that possible someone in a second here.
Alrighty, yeah, we'll get to hear now from the 18 of Robert Bauckham in just a moment. Before we let you go, though, Sean, anybody want to give a shout out to?
Absolutely. I want to thank Mr. Terry Bound and Mr. David Cannon, my co-owners here at Rolling Thunder Gaming. They do all the work. I just get to hang out and have fun and race. But I just really want to thank everyone here at RTG. It's a family. I'm sure you hear it over time to nauseum. There's a reason we've been here all these years, and we're still having fun and doing it without drama. It's a great thing, and I'll be doing it forever. And just thank everybody who comes here. Every single person contributes, and it just makes it great. And that's
Sean,
it.
you're sugarcoating it. There's drama when you get me around. You should know that.
Well, that's another story.
Alrighty, second place run here tonight for Sean Prime. An excellent run for you. Couldn't quite pull off the victory, but a second place run regardless. Best of luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
All right, now we'll get to hear from our race winner, Robert Bauckham. Robert Bauckham, this is Carlos Zimmerman and Jessica Shelton in the FRN booth. You got us?
Yeah, 10-4.
Alrighty, man. You had an incredible run tonight. I will say this: there was no commentary audio for the final 50 laps of that one, so that was an unfortunate oops on our end. But everyone still got to see you pull off the victory under caution tonight. But a win's a win for you, and it's definitely a big morale boost, I'm sure, for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because yeah, I was a little worried because we're actually down here with our whole family. There's like 40 of us in Panama City, so I'm actually having to drive with my wheel mounted to like this glass table with like a wakeboard behind it, so it's kind of sliding around. So I was a little nervous how that was gonna work out for me.
Now you dominated the back half of that race. That was just an incredible run for you through that back half of the race. It didn't seem like anyone could catch you. However, though, we did just talk to Sean Prime. He said if he had 5 more laps, he probably could have caught you. Did you have that little nugget of information in the back of your mind?
Oh yeah, I was saving my stuff. I wasn't running really that hard at all. I was probably letting out like right past the halfway because I knew they was racing each other hard. So I wasn't going to run it hard just in case we had a caution at the end. I didn't want to have to pit and stuff. So, no, Sean's a good driver. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I think I'd saved enough that I believe I could have held him on because I feel like he would have burned his stuff or had it heated up from trying to battle the 13 truck that I would have been able to take it. So, but no, he's a good driver. I mean, it was a great race. Great job by everybody keeping that thing green. And definitely needed having to come from dead last like that. But it feels good to be able to come from dead last and pass everybody. Not, no contact or anything. That's pretty tough on a small track.
Robert, I've raced with you for quite a while from TDR, from Fast, and other leagues and stuff, and I know how you're always focused. You really don't pay attention too much to everything else that's going on, which is pretty much I would imagine it's an advantage for you because you don't worry about everything else. You're only focused on the race itself and trying to get the best position for that race. But were there any moments you were thinking about that 88 of Grant Wesley coming up there sniping you based on the point situation going in this? I mean, you're going to take a huge chunk out of that lead of his.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. After last week I had the points lead going into it, and my internet kicked me out twice and put me 6 laps down. So that gave Grant in the lead or whatever. But you never can count out Grant, or Sean. I mean, I've raced these guys for a lot of years, and I mean, no matter what, you can't count them out. So I wouldn't never count nobody out. But like as far as your question about blocking everything, yeah. I don't try to worry about who's around me, or how this one's running or that one's running. I try to just drive the track and keep my pace and pay attention to my tire temperature. That way, I know where it's going to be on the long run. If you worry about everybody else trying to drive their race, you can't do what you got to do. So I try to block that out during the race.
I mean, you've had a really bit of a rough year personally, and to overcome all the stuff that you've had to go through with the coronavirus and stuff, it's great to see you not only have fun being the top 5, but come around and win, start being back in championship contention. And I'm just really happy that you're pretty much near back to 100%. I just hope you actually can do something here for this championship and get it from that Grant Wesley character.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of let you down last race. I think you picked me, and I didn't end up winning, so I feel like I let you down. So I feel like this is my time.
We didn't do picks. We didn't do picks this time. Don't worry.
Oh, that's good then. But yeah, I know last time first thing Jessica said was I picked you and you let me down, so I didn't want just in case you did pick me, I don't want to let her down. But it's going to come down to the battle. I mean, the points. It's going to be one of them deals where every position counts. And over here at RTG, all the points leaders have to start in the rear. So you got to worry about getting up through there and not making contact, and at the same time keeping a clean truck to have at the end of the race to race with. So that's it's a lot of things that's going to come into play for this championship for sure.
No, absolutely. Again, a big win for you tonight with the last 3 races coming up. And, it's going to get really interesting down the stretch. But, Robert, before we let you go this evening, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, yeah, definitely. First of all, I want to thank y'all for broadcasting. Y'all do a great job. I usually listen to the broadcast when I'm racing, but like I said, we're down here in Panama City on our family vacation, so I couldn't really do that because I was afraid I was going to get kicked out connection-wise.
Well, remember the last 50 laps. Don't worry about it, right?
Yeah, then I want to thank RTG for everything they do. David Cannon, all the guys over here, they do a hell of a job and give us a hell of a place to race. And then I want to give a shout out to, of course, my wife and daughter. They're my cheering section here. And then tonight I have my little cousin sitting here beside me. He wanted to spot for me, so he got to see the racing. So that was pretty cool having little Paul Joseph Malone here sitting beside me.
A future Robert Balcom, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Alrighty, Robert Baucom, win for him tonight here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Again, one of the oldest tracks on the circuit, and you were able to tame it tonight. So an excellent run for you. Best of luck to you the rest of the season, and go enjoy that win with your family.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, everyone enjoy some time at the beach. And like I said, great job to everybody out there. Sean, Dave, I mean, everybody, even Ron had a great run. So, and like I said, we really do appreciate you guys coming over and taking your time to spotlight what kind of drivers we have over here. We do appreciate that a lot.
It's absolutely our pleasure. Once again, Robert Baucom, your race winner here this evening from North Wilkesboro. Have a good night.
Okay, Carlos, I just want to bring up something real quick before we end on the note. We will be back tomorrow for action from FRN for the Flatout Racing Network here. We're going to be doing the Winston Cup 98 CTS mod. That is Dante's series, and that will start around same time roughly, I'm guessing, tomorrow, and we will be at Indianapolis for that race.
It's always a fun race from the Brickyard. That, again, coming up tomorrow here for RTG. Pretty sure FRN's covering it, so that you'll get to see that. And then coming up on Saturday, for the next time you'll catch me in the booth, it'll be the CNASCAR Chris Cup Series. We'll be live from Atlanta. That'll be a fun one. Their season's starting to wind down and get ready to their playoff run. Myself and Logan Brakey will be on the call for that one. Jess, I want to thank you for joining me here tonight. I apologize again for the goof on my part. I handled the live productions during the race, and I just, for some reason, out of one of our breaks, I forgot to turn TeamSpeak.
Well, you guys have, you, Seth, and everyone else seems to have basically done offline racing for quite a few years, so this gave me 50 laps of extra commentary practice, I guess.
No, absolutely. You can never have too much practice, but yeah, no. Again, folks, I apologize for that mistake. If any language that was not deemed appropriate came across, I apologize for that as well. But that is going to wrap things up here tonight here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Once again, your race winner is Robert Baucom here. 3 races left to go here in the RTG BareBones Racing Challenge. It's been a lot of fun. For Jessica Shelton, my name is Carlos Zimmerman. Thanks again for joining us, folks, and we will see you next time here on the Flatout Racing Network. Good night from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina.